AITA for demanding my mom pays for my fiancé's wedding dress? My fiancé and I got engaged recently. We both work, but she purchased her wedding dress with her own money. She's very independent. We live together in an apartment. My mom's a copy of the key. She'd come pick up stuff sometimes. Few days ago, I got back from work, and when I walked into my bedroom I saw my aunt and mom there. Mom was wearing my fiancé's wedding dress that was in the closet. I asked what they were doing, and mom's response was ask if she looked good in the dress. I screamed at her, asking why she had my fiancé's wedding dress on. My aunt asked me to relax, they were just taking a look, and mom wanted to try it on because she liked it. I told mom to put it back and them both to get out. I waited in the living room till they came and the argument ensued. I yelled at mom she shouldn't have touched the dress. She said it wasn't big deal and won't be if I keep my mouth shut and not tell my fiancé. I was enraged. I told her to leave. I went over to the house the next day and I told mom that I already told my fiancé, and she was upset someone else wore her dress before her after spending time and money to get it. It no longer fits her. I demanded that she pay for a new dress which costs $2,200. Mom freaked out, calling it a ridiculously entitled demand and that my fiancé can just use the dress and stop overreacting or buy a new one herself since she's a doctor and can afford it. My dad said it was my fault for telling my fiancé and should have just put it back in the closet and no one will say anything. I pointed out how disgusted I felt thinking about seeing my fiancé in the same dress my mom wore, although it was originally my fiancé's but not anymore. He said I'm being the one with a problem here then. Mom said it's not my dress, not my money, so I needed to stay out of it, and they'll talk to my fiancé and apologize, but they're probably gonna try to talk her out of the entitled demand. We made my fiancé's generous and polite. My family seemed to be taking advantage of that. I insisted and kept demanding mom pays for the new dress after she ruined the first one, and they all started yelling at me saying I've changed and that I have no respect for them anymore. My brother and 2 sisters said they won't attend my wedding if I keep this up as a way to get me to stop, but I told them no and told them we won't speak again till this gets sorted out and they send my fiancé the money. I could see the joy my fiancé had with her dress was gone, and I might have made it a big deal, but that dress was my fiancé's. The dress was no longer the same, especially the upper part, since my mom has gained much weight compared to my fiancé. The shoulder is now loose, which ruined the entire upper shape. I just want to say that I will be changing the locks very soon in case my mom made other copies of the one I took from her. Not my dress, not my problem. Then why the fuck did you feel entitled to wear it? Such insanely actual entitled, trashy, and immature behavior. NTA. First and foremost, right this minute, get on the phone with a locksmith or your landlord and have your locks changed. Do not, under any circumstances, ever trust anyone at all from your family with a key to your house again. Second, NTA. Your mother crossed boundaries. Major ones. She ruined someone's property. It doesn't matter how much your fiancé makes. When you ruin another person's property by being an asshole, you owe it to them to replace what you ruined. Period. It is also customary for each person in a couple to handle their own family. So this is between you and your parents, not your fiancé and your parents. If your fiancé discusses this with them, you should be present and make sure going in that she knows that the only stance you support is full repayment by your mother. I doubt you'll get the money, but don't worry, you'll probably save that much by not having your family at your wedding. Is anyone else reading this in, like, Totally creeped out by the notion that someone's mom would 1. Come to their adult son's apartment unannounced when he's not home. 2. Let alone with another person. 3. Try on his fiancé's literal wedding dress? Your mom clearly has zero respect for your boundaries. Let's step outside this situation for a second and think of what it would mean long term to have just let this go. A. Lying to or omitting information from your fiancé is not a great way to start a marriage. I'm glad you didn't consider that, and it's ridiculous your family suggested it. B. To not stand up for your fiancé would essentially reinforce the idea that this kind of behavior is okay. This time it was her dress. What next? C. Let's not forget the dress is now damaged, and yes, your mom should absolutely pay for the damage she literally caused. NTA. I'm sorry your family is being so totally unreasonable, and I'm glad you're with someone compassionate and understanding about the situation, because I'd have a big ass fit myself if this happened to me. NTA. First, change your locks immediately. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Second, elope. Your family sounds insufferable. NTA. It seems incredibly unlikely that they will contribute any money towards a new dress. So you have to decide if this is worth possibly cutting ties with your family, at least for the time being, and having them absent at the wedding. My personal opinion. If your mother is trying on the wedding dress, she sounds like the type who wants the spotlight to herself. You can expect more show-stealing behavior at the wedding and reception, as well as any related events such as showers, rehearsal dinner, etc. Be aware of that and make your decision accordingly. Good luck. NTA. Wedding dresses are really fragile. They cost hundreds to clean. Few get worn twice. Wreck the dress is a thing because a used wedding dress has little value. I can understand how your mom's little dress-up game ruined it. And even if it's just sentimental, it ruined the surprise. It ruined her joy. It felt like making fun. When you go into someone's home and mess with their stuff, them getting upset and asking you to pay for it is a risk you take. Clothes are personal, especially wedding dresses. I wonder why your mom did it. Seems likely it was to show off that she's just as thin as her, or that your fiancé is fatter than her or something, and why it would embarrass your fiancé. And I think it's reasonable you want it to be sexy, and your mom wrecked that. NTA. And change your locks. There is absolutely no reasonable excuse for a grown woman to try on another woman's wedding dress without the owner's permission. Period. Doesn't matter if it's before the wedding, after the wedding. Trying on someone else's dress without permission has never and will never be a thing. You were right to tell your fiancé, and your parents are dead wrong. NTA. She intruded on your home, helped herself to the closet, and then tried to brush it off by trying to have you corroborate lies to your fiancé? No. Time to change the locks. WTF? Seriously. NTA. I wouldn't expect to see one red cent from them though. I'd be livid in either your shoes or your fiancé's. Definitely time to enforce some boundaries, and if they don't like it and threaten to boycott your wedding, then I'd let them if I were you. Maybe your fiancé can sell this one to help offset the cost of a replacement? Let her be the guide on the dress situation however she wants to handle it. Sorry your mom sucks. Oh my gosh. Get rid of these people. Your mother wore you fiancé's wedding dress. Her freaking wedding dress. Janitor or doctor. It's all the same. That complete and utter disrespect is disgusting. Change your locks, and frankly, change your phone number. NTA. She's not the first to do this. And sadly won't be the last, but you were 100% right in your reaction. Personally, my reaction would be that if they don't want to pay for a new dress with a slightly higher budget because it's tough to find the right dress, they don't get to attend. Also, change the locks and don't give your mom a copy. Guaranteed this isn't the first time she's gone through things in your home. Nor will it be the last time to set boundaries. NTA. Your entire family really sucks. First they expect you to lie to your fiancé. And then they have moved on to gaslighting and threats to get their way. I do understand that it's just an outfit. But unlike other outfits, this one has special meaning. And it was utterly wrong for your mother and auntie to be messing with it, much less trying it on, because one of them liked it. And then they had the utter nerve to ask you if she looked good in the dress. I just reread the op. And I initially missed the part where the dress doesn't fit anymore, which I take to mean that it's been stretched out or otherwise damaged, altered. Which implies that the dress was not the right size for your mother and possibly the aunt. So, to recap what has happened. They first went into your closet and not only messed with, but tried on and damaged, altered the dress. Then they told you to just lie to your fiancé. And then when you didn't do that, and you and your fiancé realized that the dress had not only been messed with, worn, that it had been damaged and would no longer fit properly or as intended, you went to your parents to let them know that you wanted them to compensate the two of you for your loss. At which time, your parents blame you for telling your fiancé what had happened. And not only do they refuse to pay for the dress, or even offer to try to get it fixed, they simply use the fact that the two of you are well off as justification, reason for their refusal to right the wrong that they had done. Finally, the rest of your immediate family join in and somehow think that threatening to not go to the wedding is the way to help support your parents. Personally, I think I'd tell my siblings that as things stand that they are no longer welcome, invited to the wedding. And if things are not made right, that you don't want any of the to attend the wedding. You totally did the right thing in letting your fiancé know that you caught your mother not only messing with, but also wearing the wedding dress. If you had gone along with the lie, you would probably been facing a huge problem later, especially since the dress had been damaged when it was worn by your mother. There is a good, fair chance that this might have been discovered before the wedding. But there was a good, fair chance that it might not have been discovered until the bride went to put on her dress, only to find that it had been stretched out and or damaged. Yeah, that would have been a great start to your married life. And I am 100% positive that your parents and auntie would have simply thrown you under the bus when the time came. Quote, insert your name here. Knew that we had tried on the dress. Would probably be one of the first things out of their mouths when blame, suspicion was pointed at them. I do hope that your family gets their collective act together and apologizes as well as do whatever they need to be do to make this right. This is so effed up on so many levels. Have you tried talking to other family members, in particular your grandparents on your side, to see what they think? I do understand that wedding dresses do sometimes get passed down to other children. But who in their right mind would try on someone else's brand new wedding dress? Heck, I don't think anyone would have the gall to even ask the bride-to-be if it would be okay to try it on, especially before the wedding. This is wrong on so many levels. You are totally NTA. On the other hand, I can't think of the right words to describe the actions of the members of your family who are involved with this total mess, betrayal of trust, and their lack of respect that's being shown by them towards you and your future wife. regardless of what happens now or in the future. Their actions and words have probably irreplaceably damaged the relationship that the two of you could have had in the future. I'm so sorry to hear that this has happened to you and your fiancé. I also think that the two of you should just go ahead and get a new, replacement dress. Because regardless of what your parents do eventually decide to do, the two of you are going to need a wedding dress. All of this sounds like something that would show up in an episode of Judge Judy, or the upcoming replacement show, Judy Justice, because it really sounds like they need someone to explain to them that they were wrong for doing what they did, and that this is not the behavior that is acceptable anywhere. One final thing. I think you should reconsider getting the locks changed, rekeyed, so that your mother won't have unfettered access to your place in the future. I don't think that asking for the key back is going to be enough, because you cannot be sure if they have returned all the keys. Wow. The nerve of some people. Best wishes and good hope to both of you going forward. I do hope that the two of you will be able to have the wedding of your dreams. Be strong, be safe and be well. NTA, change the locks and go NC. The whole spiel they gave you about not respecting them anymore because you changed gave me vibes that they used to run you over constantly and you just dealt with it. Now they don't like that you have a spine and won't put up with their crap anymore. NTA. Your parents are trying to make themselves into victims, but your mom and aunt are total and your dad and siblings are co-ahs for enabling this behavior. I hope that you've changed your locks. And make sure you don't give them a key. Your mom has a lot of never calling you and your fiancé entitled. What does she think she is after going to your house, knowing you weren't home, then letting herself in and trying on your FW's wedding dress? And then when you get upset they say relax? Very attitude. Then to say that it wouldn't be a big deal if you didn't say anything? Wow. So, she would have been fine if this had happened to her before her marriage? And your father says it's your fault for telling your FW? So, the fact that your mother is the one who went to your house, uninvited and unannounced, entered your home without permission, technically trespassing, tried on your FW's dress, without any consideration for her or her property, and he doesn't feel she's at fault? She made conscious choices. She's at fault. And very much in the wrong here. Sure, they can talk with your fiancé, as long as you're there. But she really needs to strengthen up her spine and be prepared to stand up for herself and what is right. If you're going to continue to have a relationship with your family, she needs to be prepared for how they will walk all over her, if she allows it. If this were me, I would give them 2 weeks to refund the money for the dress or take them to small claims court, which could cost you more. But in this case, it's the principle. I would also let them know that they are not welcome at your wedding because you can't trust them to not cause a problem. Anyone else in the family who feels that way, don't invite them either. If you wish to have a special day, then I wouldn't take chances with anyone who would want to ruin your day. You can't choose your blood relations, but you can choose your family based on friendships, trust, support, respect and affection, love. Cut the toxic crap out of your life and build a better one for you and your soon-to-be family. If you have any respect for your fiancé, you would change the locks in your apartment, and have a face-to-face meeting with her to discuss setting boundaries for your overbearing and nosy family. Huge NTA. Like WTF is wrong with your parents? If they do pay for the dress, I would still uninvite them and your siblings just for the disrespect. Wow, your family sucks apples cores. Massive group of ahs. What else has your mother done with that key while you both were out? I hope you got the key back. Absolutely NTA. Your entitled horrid mother owes your future bride a new dress. And a massive apology. Get the money for a new dress. Heck, take her ass to court. Threaten it if you must. Then go low contact. Hell, uninvite them from the wedding after she pays you back. Your mother is a self-absorbed brick. Do not let your fiancé let this slide. She does not deserve to be treated as a doormat or second-class citizen. Your family has no respect for you or her or any boundaries. Info: what did your fiancé say? NTA. That's an amazing amount of trust your mom broke. I'd take her key away and/or rekey the apartment. Wearing someone else's clothes without permission is already a big deal. But when it's something special like a wedding dress, major boundaries have been crossed. NTA. That's grossly overstepping, and you honestly should demand more money. But why does your mother have a key to you and your fiancé's apartment in the first place?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.